pro-democracy organization and team of seasoned legal practitioners are committed to the protection and promotion of human rights, democratic accountability, and constitutional governance. Rights to formally petition and draw your urgent attention to the persistent abuse of state power by the government of Kebbi State. In recent times, there has been an alarming escalation in the use of security agencies, namely the Nigerian Police Force and the Department of State Services, DSS, as well as the judicial machinery, particularly magistrates and area courts, to harass, intimidate, and unlawfully detain citizens who express dissent or constructively criticize the actions and inactions of the Kebbi State government. This pattern of targeted repression constitutes a clear and systematic violation of fundamental rights as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, and international human rights treaties to which Nigeria is a signatory. Civic actors, commentators, online critics, and even ordinary citizens who have dared to express opinions that are critical of the government, of Kebbi State government, have become targets of arbitrary arrest, unlawful detention, malicious prosecution, and in many cases, unjust conviction. These individuals are often summoned under dubious pretenses, arrested without warrant, detained, denied access to legal representation, coerced to write statements and to admit charges, and held in custody beyond the constitutionally allowed duration. In many instances, the charges brought against these persons are not only frivolous and baseless, but are concocted to suit a political narrative. Offenses such as public nuisance, inciting public disturbance, and defamation have been routinely and roughly invoked to criminalize speech and stifle freedom of expression. The role of magistrate and area courts in this repression has become particularly concerning, as they often lend legitimacy to these abuses by entertaining meritless charges and issuing harsh sentences without proper legal scrutiny or regard for due process. To illustrate the disturbing realities of this coordinated repression, we provide the following specific and documented cases of individuals who have suffered direct consequences of exercising their constitutional right to freedom of expression. One such case is that of Ibrahim Adamu Aige, a citizen of Aige local government area of Kebbi State. His only offense was publishing a video that highlighted the deplorable condition of the General Hospital in Aige, in Kebbi State, a public facility meant to serve the health needs of thousands. In response to this act of public interest advocacy, Mr. Ibrahim was arrested by officers of the Nigerian police and held in detention for 4 days without trial. He was later hurriedly prosecuted and compelled under duress to admit to concocted charges, leading to his conviction. He was subsequently sent to prison, where he spent an additional 2 weeks before being released. Beyond his unlawful imprisonment, Mr. Ibrahim continues to suffer administrative retaliation. His salary as a local government worker has been held for over 5 months. His promotion remains undocumented, and he has not received his salary and arrears of salary accruing from the promotion. This case not only represents abuse of legal process, but also economic persecution aimed at silencing legitimate critics of public infrastructure failures in Kebbi State. Similarly, Mokhtar Danbuturia, another victim from Arugungu local government area of Kebbi State, was arrested for merely sharing publicly available news concerning political development in Kebbi State. Despite eventually deleting the post following several threatening calls from Kebbi State agents, he was still arrested, prosecuted, and spent 4 days in detention. His arrest served no legitimate law enforcement purpose, but was clearly aimed at intimidating him and deterring others from discussing political affairs in Kebbi State. In another case, Abubakar Mohammed Bayawa, a citizen from Aigo local government of Kebbi State, was arrested for posting on Facebook that certain political actors in Kebbi State found disagreeable. Although his post posed no security threat and was well within the bounds of civil expression, he was treated as a criminal. He was arrested and detained for 4 days with the full involvement of state security forces acting on the instruction and instigation of political figures. Most recently, on 3rd August, just a few days back, 2025, another egregious case occurred involving Ahmed Tijani Musa, popularly known as ATM Jega, a respected citizen of Jega local government area of Kebbi State. Mr. Musa had appeared on Hakima Radio TV in Kanu, where he exercised his constitutional right to express his views regarding the current state of affairs in Kebbi State. During the interview, he constructively criticized the state government on key issues such as rising insecurity, economic decline, the neglect of the health and educational sectors, etc. In direct retaliation, he was arrested by operatives of the DSS, reportedly acting on the orders and instigation of Kebbi State officials under the directive of the governor. Following his arrest, Mr. Musa was beaten, coerced to retract his opinion, a camera was placed before him, and he was forced to record a video retracting his earlier statement under duress. This act of forced recantation not only violates his dignity and personal liberty, but also underscores the level of coordinated intimidation being employed by Kebbi State government. Both his original interview and the coerced retraction have since circulated widely on social media, drawing public outrage and further revealing the oppressive tactics now normalized in Kebbi State. These are just a few examples among many. Each represent a violation of constitutionally protected freedoms, a misuse of state power, and a betrayal of public trust. The pattern is consistent. Citizens who voice dissatisfaction or raise awareness about public issues are targeted by the state machinery, prosecuted on frivolous charges, and punished in a manner designed to suppress broader dissent. The center and the forum are also in possession of credible reports and first-hand testimonies of several other victims who have suffered prolonged detention, psychological trauma, social stigmatization, and economic loss as a result of this unlawful action by Kebbi State government. Many have been coerced into silence through fear of further persecution, thereby creating a climate of fear and repression in Kebbi State. The cumulative effect is the erosion of civil space, the suppression of democratic freedom, and the collapse of public trust in institutions meant to protect justice and liberty. We, therefore, assert that this act are not only unconstitutional, but also violate Nigeria's international obligations under the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights, and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, specifically the right to liberty as enshrined under Section 35 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as altered, fair hearing, Section 36, freedom of expression, Section 39, and freedom of association, Section 40, are being daily infringed upon with impunity by Kebbi State government. As a sequel to the aforesaid, we therefore respectfully demand the following: an immediate investigation into the conduct of the Kebbi State government, security agencies, and judicial officers involved in the repression and persecution of dissenting voices, the identification and disciplinary action against officers of the Nigerian police and DSS who have acted outside the scope of the authority in unlawfully arresting and detaining innocent citizens, the immediate release and compensation of all individuals currently in detention or those wrongfully convicted for exercising their constitutional right to free speech and civic engagement. A directive to all courts within Kebbi State to uphold judicial independence and resist being used as political tools for the oppression of innocent citizens by the Kebbi State government, monitoring of human rights situation in Kebbi State by national and international organizations with a view to halting the normalization of state-sponsored persecution of innocent citizens. The Center for Reform and Public Advocacy and ADC National Legal Support Forum emphasizes that criticism of government is a cornerstone of democracy and must not be treated as a criminal act. The weaponization of the security and justice system to punish dissent is an abuse of power that threatens not only Kebbi State, but the rule of law in Nigeria as a whole. To support this petition, we have attached a non-exhaustive list of individuals who have been victims of these unlawful and politically motivated actions. These citizens were targeted for merely expressing their views about government performance or demanding transparency and accountability. We trust that your esteemed office will treat this matter with urgency, seriousness, and impartiality it deserves. The silence of the world in the face of injustice emboldens tyranny. We must not be silent now. Thank you